Hello, everyone. So one of the first things we have to do in every class, of course, is read through the syllabus. The syllabus is our plan, our contract, if you will, about what's going to happen in the course. I lay out sort of what I expect, as well as what I expect to be doing for you, and also our schedule for the class. So it's certainly very important that you read this thing. I think that it's very important that you listen to this as we read it. I won't read every single word on it, but I can give some clarification, some comments, etc. Certainly, however, it's not the most exciting video watching, so minimally you need to read it and certainly have it handy, an electronic or paper version, as we go throughout the semester. Number one, it'll have a calendar. It'll also answer a lot of basic questions as we sort of start doing new things. Okay, so here we go. We're going to toggle over to the syllabus. Social 135, Race and Ethnicity in the Fall of 2013. My name is Chris Morrissey. Doctor is not necessary, but I do have that degree. So as I mentioned in the intro video, live in South Bend, Indiana. So if you want to get a hold of me, you need to call or email me because I don't have an office at St. Francis, all right? The most direct way is through email for normal sort of communications at the Gmail address preferably. Many of you will just, of course, click on the link on Blackboard and email me to my St. Francis office, or account rather, excuse me, and I'll check that daily. However, I tend to have the Gmail account on all the time. Unfortunately, there's a glitch in the system. I cannot forward the St. Francis email. It's a very long, complicated story, not very interesting, so you just can't do that. I list my cell phone up there. Please, use it as necessary for you. Of course, we could always have an office hours chat on the phone. I've certainly done that a fair amount over the last couple of semesters, or if you have an academic emergency. Most often, of course, that tends to look like, oh, my computer had a major problem or a internet service problem during an exam. Can you help me with that? So hopefully we'll avoid that, and I'll be available on the phone as you do that. All right. Otherwise, I do intend on having office hours, virtual office hours, Wednesdays from 12 to 2. And there's a virtual office space in Blackboard. To clarify, virtual office in Blackboard is a space where you can ask a question that everyone else can see your question, and everyone else can see my answer, or anyone else's answer for that matter. So if you have a question that probably others are thinking, I know that can be hard to tell, that's the first place to ask it. If you want to just send me the question you're not sure, that's fine too, of course. All right, our required materials. So we have a textbook, Mona Scott 2012, Think, Race and Ethnicity by Pearson, should be available in the bookstore. Here is a copy of it right here. Put it up to the camera. All right, looks like so. Fairly readable. No text is perfect, but not bad, and also what we're going with. So there you go. Other readings that we have are required, but all of those can be found as needed in Blackboard. All right, so they are free. The course description I will not read out loud to you right now, but I do suggest that you read it. It sort of summarizes the argument, if you will, of the class, the claims that the course is going to do, and what we're going to try to accomplish. And pause here if necessary. All right. Same with course objectives and outcomes. So you're going to try, I'll read a little bit of this. We'll demonstrate comprehension and be able to apply to real-world examples the key terms and concepts presented and explained in course instruction. So you're going to be able to analyze and apply the principal theoretical perspectives of sociology, functionalist, conflict, and symbolic interactionist, in order to analyze and explain current and historical examples of the social significance of race. All right, as it says here, this course satisfies USF's General Education Learning Outcome number 24, specifically to develop a critical understanding of human behavior within a defined context. Okay, so the other section of the course addresses some administrative details, which are very important, but we're going to sort of let you read individually. So first of all, academic integrity. So no cheating, no unauthorized collaboration, no taking of work, no plagiarizing, whatever. The university takes this a form of academic dishonesty very seriously, and so do I. So please don't, participate in any sort of this form of dishonesty. And the examples, in case you're not sure, include plagiarism, misrepresenting data, falsification of academic records, documents, or unauthorized access to computerized academic or administrative systems. If you want to see more on that, follow this link here. In short, we'll talk about this as it comes along. Most of our tests and quizzes, all of them actually, are open book and open notes, just because of an online system, it seems like sort of a high expectation to try to expect people to do otherwise. If you have a disability, or if you think you might have a disability, it's very important that you, first of all, if you know this already, let me know so that I can modify instruction in ways that you are entitled to by both the law and sort of just common decency. If you are someone who has wondered about these things, you can get tested for these things out at the University Student Services office. So if either one of those are the cases, please be proactive and assertive in letting me know what I can do to help. Finally, tutoring and support. I, of course, am willing to help you along in any way possible, informally and sort of formally in terms of course content, or just talking about what you might need to do to succeed or to improve your work in class. Now, of course, the university also offers student academic support services on the second floor of John Paul II. All right, so avail yourself to those services. You have already paid for them. Now, participation in attendance for us, of course, is a little different. That basically comes down to getting in your assignments in time as stated on the syllabus. All right. Of course, I don't take attendance, and I expect you to make all the deadlines laid out in the syllabus. Of course, there can be exceptions to this, most commonly through illness or other extreme circumstances, and that will be taken care of on a case-by-case basis. All right. So follow the schedule. Know what our sort of routine is. We have a rhythm to our week that once we get going, we sort of have stuff due Wednesdays and Fridays, and every once in a while, just twice during the semester, your papers are due Saturdays, but you can turn them in earlier if you wish. All right, don't really anticipate too many having any class cancellations, so we'll handle that on a case-by-case basis. Our Franciscan values are here, of course, all of which are wonderful, but we will not read them out loud right now. What you can expect from me, of course, expectations. First of all, respect and active listening, and consistent grading with return time within 1 week. It might be a good time to pause and read that things to yourself right now, please. And then the next thing is, of course, what I can expect from you. And you might want to take a moment and pause and read all of those. Course grading elements. These are the 5 elements or pieces of our grade. Participation in our town hall meeting blogs, 10%, weekly quizzes, 15%, 2 short papers at 30% total for 15% each of the papers, a midterm exam at 20%, and a final exam at 25%. So participation is very important in this class, although it's different, of course, in an in-person class. So the best way I can help make you participate, if you will, encourage it in other terms, is to have a town hall meeting on Wednesdays, all right? A 24-hour period, which you need to post a blog entry or some sort of response to either the questions posed by me or the responses of your classmates. The expectations for your participation in the rubric I will use to assess your participation will be on Blackboard prior to the first blog entry. Occasionally, I will mix up the format of our town hall meetings to keep things interesting and to use some of the unique features of the internet to further our learning. So, for example, this first week, we'll just do introductions, and I'm going to encourage people, they're not required, unfortunately, to do a video introduction of yourself. It's a very odd thing to go through class and never really get to see people. And so it'd be really great to sort of just get a quick glimpse of you all and sort of be able to put a face to the names, especially for me, but as well as for your classmates. Otherwise, just the names, it feels a little depersonalized. We'll also have weekly quizzes on Fridays. All right, they'll mostly be multiple choice, but they may also include true, false, fill in the blank, and short answer questions. They cover all the course material for that week. Even though These quizzes are open book. I expect you to read or view the relevant materials before taking the quiz. All right. And I tend to put a lot of questions on there to make you have to know your stuff, so you can't just look everything up. All right. Those are on Fridays from a 24-hour period. We have 2 short papers that we'll do during the term. They're very short, 2 pages. Sometimes I'll let people do 3 because honestly, sometimes they're hard to do in 2. They should be done with your best college writing. You don't need to do any additional research. I'll give you more information as we get closer to those. The midterm exam will have about the midpoint of the semester. It'll be very similar to the format of the weekly quizzes we do, plus we'll do several additional longer answers, questions that all set you up for in the week or weeks before the exam. And I'll give you more information. Finally, I'll have a final exam, and then I'll give you additional information on that. Okay, and I'll give you several days over which to take that. Grading scale is pretty standard. It's listed here. You can read that at your leisure. The weekly plan. So the first part of the week is you sort of do the readings and watch the videos, right? That's how I would suggest. Then readings, video. All right. So you can read that more about the videos. On Wednesday, we do the town hall meetings. Okay. And I'll be responding to those and monitoring those throughout the day. On Fridays, we take our weekly quizzes. All right, you can read the details there. Paper assignments are due, the 2 papers we have on Saturday night just before midnight. So you don't want to run your Saturday evening, you can do them ahead of time. Just a thing to mix things up. All right, here's our course schedule. I won't necessarily read this week by week. It's again, this is no guarantee that we will keep to this. So actually, we're pretty. We should not have too many deviations. Any things I change, I'll give you proper notification. All right. So also the deadlines, as I said before, are really important. So stay on this and keep a copy of this or plugs to the dates and days into your calendar or whatever your personal planning device is. All right. So for our first week, we'll be reading our textbook, chapter 1. We'll read the page, a supplemental read. It's relatively short but good. Watch the videos. We're going to do your video introduction for our town hall meeting on Wednesday. I will not grade that. I just want people to get to see who is in the class, for me to see who's in the class, that sort of thing. And we'll take a weekly quiz covering again the chapter, the page reading, and the week's videos. All right. So that's our first weeks. Most of the rest of our weeks have a very similar format. The stuff that you have stuff coming due Wednesdays and Fridays. Twice during the semester, you got Saturdays, all right? So rather than read all of this, I'll let you take a look at this on your own time. And that's it. If you have any questions, definitely send me an email. First of all, please, to the Gmail account. Yeah, otherwise, I should say, I guess we'll have our final exam. And actually, you'll have the whole finals week to take it at your discretion. So that's a good thing with the flexibility of the online stuff. Okay? Thanks so much. Send a question to the email if you got one.